MotorWeek is made possible by Auto Value and Bumper to Bumper and TireRack.com.
Half tiger, half iguana. Yep, it's the Volkswagen Tiguan. Having just entered its third generation for 2025, Volkswagen made plenty of moves to improve this compact utility. But they invited us to Ann Arbor, Michigan to throttle up something even better. This 2026 Tiguan SEL R-Line Turbo. Now, there's plenty more to it than this available avocado green paint job, as befitting as it is. So normally on these first drives, we come out to whatever scenic locale to drive a vehicle for the very first time. That's not really the case here with this Tiguan SEL R-Line Turbo, which for the rest of the video I will probably refer to as the Tiguan Turbo to save a little bit of breath. We actually recently road tested this latest generation of Tiguan, so if you want to know more of the ins and outs of that in particular, the platform as a whole, I should say, go check out that road test. I'm going to focus on what makes the Tiguan Turbo, and would you believe it? It's partially, at least, the turbocharger. So under the hood, we have this same E8 888 2-liter turbo Ford. It's the Evo 5, so the fifth iteration of it, but it makes more power. I would say a pretty substantial bump at that. 268 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. Now, that's a climb of 67 horsepower over the standard output, and it's a climb, sort of a climb, of 51 pound-feet. I say sort of because that's for a two-wheel drive Tiguan. If you go with the all-wheel drive Tiguan, which makes 221 pound-feet, it's a difference of 37. Still pretty substantial. Now, how did they accomplish that? It wasn't just a computer tune. They actually changed some of the hardware, namely a larger turbo to build more boost. And with that larger turbo, they actually shortened the compression ratio of the engine to 10.5 to 1. They've also done some other things. They've strengthened the pistons and the connecting rods, and they've nitrided the crankshaft. Nitriding, it's a process, thermochemical. You combine a lot of heat and, in this case, nitrogen to strengthen really the surface of a component, so it should last up against wear a little bit longer. And they've made a few other changes to the cooling, the oil cooling for the pistons, and that's how they got that bump in power. And I should say that's on regular fuel. So regular gasoline, you don't have to put premium in this thing. So that's, again, a pretty substantial bump that I think a lot of people are going to appreciate. And driving it on these back roads, I should say it's tethered to an 8-speed automatic, not the 7-speed dual clutch we've seen in the Golf. You get the 8-speed auto, you get some paddle shifters, and the 4Motion all-wheel drive is standard. It's the only way you can go with the Tiguan Turbo. And what I'm getting out of all this, I'm getting a little bit of hot hatch vibes, which if there's something Volkswagen knows how to do and it's not a microbus, it's a hot hatch. And that makes sense given, well, one of the key demographics for this vehicle, as said in the presentation this morning, is the GTI buyer who recognizes they need to step up in space. And I also say hot hatch vibes because while it is larger than a Golf, the wheelbase is only about 6 inches longer, so 110 inches here. So it still feels relatively tight. In our cone course back home with the standard output, we thought this platform felt pretty solid, pretty smooth, and pretty fun to throw through the cones. And that's gonna be no different here. You're just gonna have a little more power to do it. Now, they haven't made any suspension changes to the Tiguan Turbo, which I think is actually okay. Just naturally, at least to me, the Tiguan feels a little bit on the harsher side as is. Not that it's uncomfortable, but just the way it's tuned, it is a little bit firmer. So I think going farther in that direction wouldn't really be beneficial to consumers. I think the people buying this don't really want something that's super harsh or feels like it's always on, and without adaptive dampers you don't have that luxury of getting to pick between soft or hard. So I do think they made the right decision there. I guess I should briefly mention some of the amenities you get in here. The first one you're going to notice, because it's the biggest thing in here, is this 15-inch screen. It's standard in this model. It houses a lot of the climate control, the radio, all of that, for better or for worse. I'm personally not a huge fan of that, but I will say that Volkswagen has done a very good job with this display. It's colorful, it's bright, there's really no latency, and hooking up my phone to it was a piece of cake. So I'll at least give them that. It's paired to a 10.25-inch digital cockpit, which is also very nice. And the rest of the interior, I think, is laid out very smart, you know, like smart casual in a way. You've got this nice like wood trim up here that doesn't feel chintzy or cheap. You've got very nice seats. Both of the front ones massage, by the way. And in the back, the outboard seats are actually heated. So it is very well equipped. And I think for the price point, you are getting a fair number of features. The Tiguan Turbo is actually on sale now, and for pricing, I'm rounding it a little bit here, but it's just shy of $45,000 with destination. So that does firmly put it at the top of the Tiguan trim structure, but it's fully loaded. It has a lot of amenities. It has obviously the more power. So if that's all worth it to you, like I said, they are on sale now. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the Tiguan Turbo. So until the next one, drive safe and stay tuned to MotorWeek.
The MotorWeek app, which includes our latest reviews and feature stories, is now available for mobile devices.